When the time comes to defend yourself against a deadly threat, you must know that you have the emotional fitness to do what it takes. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Cape Coral, Florida. Here we're going to see an argument escalate and a private citizen with a CCW step in to stop the threat. Let's see what happens, then we'll come back and learn some lessons. Go read the news story and you'll see this started as a dispute in the store. Pay attention to the guy in the hat at the bottom of the screen. That is the guy who is our perp. Very top of the screen is his intended victim and our good guys. You see him pile out here. The guy who is the perp has already got a gun in his hand, and our good guy actually raises a firearm at him, and when he raises a firearm back at his intended victim, our good guy shoots 4 times and hits him once, puts him down and stops shooting there, and then holds him there and assesses his work. Now somebody screams, "Hey man, go get the gun, go get the gun." And our good guy is gonna run up, grab the firearm and hold him there until police arrive, and police have charged the initial aggressor with multiple counts. He was a felon in possession and all kinds of stuff. No good people were hurt and the bad guy got plugged. This one ends well. Boy, that happened really quickly, and I have a question for you about this one. Do you think that it was wise for him to issue a verbal command and tell him to drop it, or do you think he should have pulled the trigger immediately to end the threat sooner? Hit the poll, let me know what you think. I want to think about some significant lessons out of this one. About number 1, making sure that your tools are on you all the time. Number 2, we're going to talk about the verbal command and whether or not it was wise as well as justified in this instance. And number 3, we're going to talk about follow-up actions after the shots so that you keep yourself safe. Let's start by thinking about, as the good guy here, the fact that he needed to have his tools on him. He didn't have time to go back to the car in order to get his firearm. He had to have it on him and it had to be chambered and ready to go. He also needed to be aware because this guy comes out so fast and has a gun in hand. He had to know what was going and have the ability to get his gun up and in the fight. Now that guy comes out and you can see him right here. This is where a cue for our good guy to go. He says, "Oh no, this guy has a gun and he's going to start threatening somebody who is in my party with it." And so that's why we say sometimes you need a fast, accurate, reliable draw that has to be ready as fast as it can be, because you got to be able to stop this action quickly. So getting to your firearm, having it readily accessible is important. Now, as we zoom in and kind of see what's going on, you can see our good guy starting here as this guy is coming towards his friend. He is just going to start raising his gun right up here. And we're going to see it go. And sometimes you got to think about the fact here, is it time for me? Right here, you can see he's raised that gun up on that guy and started challenging him. You got to ask the question, do you always shoot when you draw the gun? The answer to that is no. There is a time. You notice that the bad guy has the gun down at his side. He's menacing with it, but he's not got it up and pointed. So you could, in this instance, certainly issue verbal commands, and our good guy did that here. He said, "Hey, drop the gun, drop the gun." And if the guy dropped the gun, he wouldn't have had to shoot him, and that would have been a better outcome, certainly, for this perp. But when he doesn't, we're going to see him here, he's going to start raising the gun right here as we slow it down. As the gun comes up, our good guy says, "Nope, I got to get in here and take the shots at that point." And when the time came that he couldn't do anything else, he used his firearm effectively. Now you notice as well that our good guy is moving to his right as the bad guy is moving to his right, because he has to practice the rules of firearm safety. He can't muzzle the other guy who doesn't have a gun, can't muzzle a friendly either, and so he has to keep moving to his right. We're going to see him do that as he has to take a shot here. He takes a good hard step to the right, both hands up and on the gun, and the gun up and on target. And that is not always an easy thing to do, which is why we say when you're in your firearms training, yes, draw first shot, incredibly important, but also being able to move laterally with a firearm in your hand while getting your sight picture and getting the best target is an incredibly useful skill to have. It is, in fact, one of the cardinal skills to winning a gunfight, being able to move while you put shots accurately on target in a very tight window. Look at his backstop and what's along the sides. Has to be careful. Now, he only hit him 1 out of 4 there. And so, man, I'm going to tell you, you got to have that marksmanship training, that you understand how to control recoil, how to get the gun back on target, how to put shots in a tight group, because it's very important. But that one shot did its job. You notice here that our bad guy is down, taking one shot in the center cavity, and it didn't kill him. The guy made it through this. He's going to be charged with a whole bunch of stuff, but he didn't need to get him anymore. And so when the threat ended, he stopped shooting. That's exactly right. We shoot to stop the threat. When the threat ends, when the deadly threat is no longer, and you can see the gun on the ground here, our good guy stopped shooting. That is absolutely picture perfect what you want to do. Now we got to start thinking about follow-ups here. You notice he's got the gun down just below eye level here while he's still assessing his work. And you want to think about assessing your work from the perspective of, did I hit him? Is the work done? Is he still a threat? Is he down? Am I hurt? Is anybody else hurt? Does he have any accomplices going around him that I should be aware of who could be threatening me? It didn't happen in this case. None of those things were what was going on, but those are the kind of things you want to assess. Are there other bad guys around? What else is going on in your world? See if your work is done with the pistol, and it was in this instance. So now you're going to see him start lowering the gun, saying, okay, we don't have a current threat right here, but then also start thinking about, wait a minute, I want to secure the weapon. Now, again, I think that in this particular instance, it probably would have been wise for him to tell somebody else to pick it up while he maintained control from a little bit more of a distance. And you don't have to stay in that immediate vicinity as a defender. You could have gotten yourself to safety, no problem. But if you do have to stay in the vicinity of a downed attacker, absolutely get their tool away from them. That is something that you want to do so that they can't kind of come back around and grab that tool and become a threat again. All things considered, this self-defender did a fantastic job. He protected himself, everyone around him, did the right thing with the pistol, shot to stop, got the shots where he needed to get them. It stopped shooting when he didn't need to shoot anymore, protected everyone, and covered his asp.